Yo, what's poppin', people? Cobra Star Green back with you guys with another video today. If it's you guys' first time finding my channel or anything like that for your boy, please hit that subscribe button. Also like this video, it really does help. Yes, today I get to review one of my most anticipated projects of the year. Yes, you heard me, one of my most anticipated projects, and that is The Flash. DC's The Flash, that is. I get to review that, like I said, it's one of my most anticipated projects of the year. This review will be full on non-spoilers. There'll be no spoilers for this review. Now, we'll have a review dropping soon that will contain, it'll be a spoiler, pretty much spoiler review, ending, explain, stuff like that. So you guys definitely make sure you guys subscribe. Check that out when it comes out. But like I said, this will be completely non-spoiler. And I saw a bunch of reviews and everything. Everybody was saying this and that about the movie. But Cobra, how you feel about the movie? Well, you guys gonna have to stay tuned. You guys got to find out. Cue the intro.
Probably you. We got a problem. 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 It's probably you. Yeah. We got a problem. We got a problem. Yeah. We got a problem. We got a problem. We got a
So yes, in this one, The Flash is back in this one, and pretty much this story here is a story about him trying to go back in time to save his mother. You know, and why that's really not a good idea at the end of. Let the past be the past. Like, without really going to, because I don't really want to say too much about the story, but pretty much that's the story on paper. Is Ezra Miller, aka The Flash, really wants to go back in time to try to prevent the death of his mother. You know, that's pretty much what it is. Like I said, without spoiling anything and going too deep, that's just pretty much what the trailers have shown. So that's what I'm gonna say. But yeah, how did this movie fare out? Because I had seen a whole lot of people hit me up from LA. Yo, Cobra, when you seeing this film, you got to see this new Flash movie when it comes out. And yeah, I'm gonna talk about it. Look, I'm gonna get into my positives. And I hate saying this as a positive, but I gotta say it. And it really hurts me to say this as one of the positives. But Ezra Miller, he killed it, y'all. He killed it. It hurt me to say that, man. I see why they did not want to reshoot this movie and all that, because Ezra Miller, him being the star of the show, this is his story. He killed it, y'all. He did his thing. He plays two different versions of himself. He played two different versions of Barry Allen. He plays a younger version, this version, and another version. I'm not gonna tell you guys what the other version is, but he plays two different versions of himself. And I'll say, man, I feel like those were the best parts of the movie. Whenever he's going back and forth with himself, like, pretty much, this is our version we know of Barry Allen. And when he has to go and he has to meet this other Barry Allen, it's pretty much like, wow, he's pretty much a big brother to this other Barry Allen we end up meeting. I'm not gonna tell you guys what Barry Allen it is, because I don't know if that's spoiler or not. But when he meets his new Barry Allen and he has to talk to him, we go through moments where Barry's like, man, I've done this before. I've done all this. And he's like, and you don't get it. You don't understand how important what this was and this is. He's like, you don't get it, bro. You don't get it. And I thought, it's like I said, in the Big Brother to another Barry Allen, I felt like Ezra did perfect, especially on the Big Brother part. And I wish he'd be like this in real life. I wish he'd be this Barry Allen in real life, because you know that dude's, y'all know how he is in real life. Ezra is in real life. But like I said, I wish he'd be like this in real life. But man, this dude, like, he plays two different roles in this movie. And like I said, man, he killed it. I'm not gonna lie. Just seeing these two contract on the screen, their chemistry they put together with the two, just how they rub off on one another, I thought was phenomenal. I would say just go see the movie just for these two, just how well of a performance Ezra puts on as both of the Barry Allens. So a big, like I said, I didn't want to give Ezra that credit, but he killed it, y'all. He does a really good job as the Barry Allens in this film. I'm gonna talk about some quick other characters while we're here. But I mean, that's one of my positives. But while we're talking about characters, because I really wasn't going to get into characters this early, but while we're talking about characters, let's just go through the line. Whatever one pops up first, I'll talk about. And I would say this is one of the characters that really disappointed me in the movie. I'll get into this. There is one character, or there's actually a couple that really disappointed me in this one. They don't really have anything to do. I've seen them do a lot more in other DC things. But here, they're kind of like an afterthought. You know, they're kind of like, wow, why did you even come back for this one? And I'm talking about one of my favorite villain in the DC EU, man, General Zod. This was the biggest bummer in the whole movie for me. He has nothing to do. I mean, I guess he has one thing to do. But it's like, Michael Shannon, you came back for this? Like, I thought he was going to be more important to the story, I'll say. And he really is not in the film that much, y'all. If we really being honest, he's not in the film that much. And it's really a big bummer to me that I have to say that. Because I'm like, wow, if you've seen him in Man of Steel, honestly, I think he's one of the best parts of Man of Steel was Michael Shannon as General Zod. And then you see him here, and you're like, why? Y'all wasted him like this? You know, I was just very, very down on this. Because I've seen Michael Shannon be way better than how he is in this movie. They just like, look, bro, we want you. And this is what I'm going to get on, because I feel like this movie really relies on a certain thing, but I'll talk about it in a little bit. It's a thing where I feel like a lot of movies are relying on nowadays instead of trying to tell a better story. They're just trying to rely on a certain thing to get it, you know, quick money in their pocket. But I'll talk about that in a little bit, because I have it written down. But yeah, man, I love General Zod, Man of Steel, but here, like I said, he just doesn't have too much to do here, y'all. He's a plot device, pretty much. That's the only reason why he's here. So I was really bummed out on him. Another person that was shown in the trailer and that's in the movie. We're going by this one by one. Like I said, I love Barry Allen. I loved the two Barry Allens in this movie. I'll say that's my biggest positive I take away from this movie. But another character that you do see, Supergirl. Played by Sarah Kyle, I think I'm saying, or Kylie, I don't know, man. I know I'm dyslexic, bro. She was a bummer for me. I was looking forward to her character. I'm like, okay, Supergirl. Let's see what kind of spin they do on this character. Nothing interesting. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. It hurts me to say this, because if y'all ask anybody that I was with, I was like, my most looking forward to character in this movie was Supergirl. I was like, I want to see what they do with Supergirl. And what they do here with her, you think about it at the end of the movie, like, why are they here? You know, I understand, like, I guess y'all not really messing with Henry Cavill like that, but y'all could have brought him back for if y'all gonna do what y'all did when it comes to these super people. She don't even have much to do. The biggest problem with some of these characters, is they're rushed. Like her, Supergirl, she is rushed in this movie badly. Like, you don't get her backstory. I don't think you barely get her backstory. It's a very rushed character. General Zod, he was very rushed. You know, I'm like, wow, why are they here? Aside from, you know, just the Superman. Oh, we gotta put some type of super person in this movie. So those two characters were very bummy out for me. Very, very. Well, I was like, God damn, man. Like, we're doing this. Now, one character I'm kind of mixed on, and I'll tell you guys why I'm so mixed. Because I did like him in some areas, but in some areas, I'm like, man, this dude is so cheesy. And this is for the old heads, man. This is for y'all, bro. Michael Keaton as Batman. Yeah, he's back, man, in this one. And I thought he was going to be more of a key piece in this movie, but he's really not. Like I said, he was cool, cause like for nostalgia purposes, like especially the older crowd that I saw it with, man, they were going crazy. Like whenever he says like his iconic lines, like people love it, they eat it up, you know. But I really felt like, especially when it comes to that third act of the movie, he becomes like every other character. Supergirl, General Zod. Yeah, Michael Keaton's Batman. They just become kind of afterthoughts. He was a rush character too, I felt like in some areas. But it was really cool to see him on screen to make his iconic return. You know, he was very charismatic with our Barry Allens. When you see him meet the other Barry Allens and stuff, I thought he did very well with that. Michael Keaton is still an amazing actor, you know, but it's just like, damn, I thought he was gonna damn near get second billing or something in this movie, and it's like, he's in it, but he's in it, he's out of it. I mean, not no spoiler or anything, but yeah, he just, I don't know. I just wish they would have. I wish there was more to these characters. You know, he runs into the same problem with some other characters run into. I didn't spoil anything, but they're rushed. You know what I'm saying? They're there for pretty much nostalgia purposes. Now I didn't like it. I just say I didn't like it, man. I wish they would have just. I wish he would have had more to do. I would just say. I wish, man. But yeah, he's still very fun in the film, man. You're gonna enjoy him in the film. Like I said, man. The one thing I will say is that I didn't see the older movies with Michael Keaton in them, but they had a lot of cheesy lines in this movie, and they were lines kind of like this. Now these are kind of lines where it's like, if you see him in a theater and like with a packed crowd, like you're gonna go crazy. The crowd's gonna go crazy for these lines. But I feel like if you're at home watching this on HBO Max or something, I feel like it's going to be kind of weird. And here's one of my examples.
Lights out. Now you want to get nuts? Come on. Let's get nuts.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Yeah, you know, like, it's cool, you know, for a trailer. Because, like, oh, that shot is iconic. You know, let's get nuts, you know. But I feel like when you're watching it on a movie, you're like, okay, you know, I was like, all right, whatever. But yeah, I still really enjoyed Michael. I enjoyed Michael Keaton in the movie. I just wish he had a little more to do, just like the other characters. Because I mean, this is the Flash's story, so I do get that point. But I just wish they kind of had a little more to do. Like if you guys just saw Spider-Verse, shoot, you see what Gwen does. She pretty much damn near her movie too. You know, so I just wish it was kind of stuff like that. Another thing. And I thought this was gonna get fixed before the movie even came out, but so they said we were watching the finished version of the movie, and I really hope not, because a lot of these effects were not done. If it seemed like the CGI in this movie, now there's CGI overload in this movie, and I just felt like I was like, wait, this is the final product? I'm like, some of this just doesn't look good. You know, I remember there was a big scene that came out a while back where you see Supergirl and the two Barry Allens, and she's just like floating above them, and you're like, wait, like what is this effect? Yeah, that's the movie, y'all. It's just like, damn, y'all had years to work on this film, and the effects still look like what they do. I don't know, man. I don't know how y'all guys are gonna feel about it. Cause maybe when you guys see it on the theater screen, you might not really realize what we saw. Or maybe it was just our projector. I don't know. But the effects to me just were not that good. CGI to me just was not that good, and that's very sad to say. Cause these movies rely heavily on CGI. So I don't know, man. It's just that CGI in the movie kind of bothered me a little bit. But I will say, man, I know I throw a lot of negatives out there, but I'll just say, when it comes to DC, I guess this ain't let's say this is not a high bar to try to get over, but I feel like this was one of DC's best written stories, man. I'm telling you, when it came to Barry Allen and him trying to do anything he can to possibly save his mother. He wants a life with his mother. He wants to bring her back, because if you guys don't know the comics and everything, his mother ends up dying. And like I said, in this movie, all he tries to do is bring back his mother, you know, and I really liked how they played it out in the film. I liked how they did all the multiverses in here. It looked cool, and it wasn't like, okay, explain this, you know what I'm saying? I liked their touches they put on the multiverse, because I guess everybody doing the multiverse movie now, so it's multiverse time. So, but I really like how they made it to the point where it's easy to follow, easy to understand when it comes to the multiverse and how they presented it here. Another thing is here, some of them got spoiled. I'm not gonna spoil anything for you here, but you know what? I'll say this: there's a lot of surprises in this movie. There's a huge cameo that pops up that everybody lost their freaking mind over when it showed up, an Easter egg or whatever you want to call it. People, like I said, people lost their minds when it showed up, and I did too, because I was like, oh my god, I was like, wow. I guess I'm not spoiling anything, but you'll definitely get those moments. That's the other reason why you probably want to see this with a crowd, because there's some cameos that probably will blow you away when you see them. You know, you'll be very excited to see these specific cameos pop up. But let's just go into my my rating of the film. Let's get out of here. Let's get my rating. I don't want to make this too long. Let's just say this, man. DC's been on a downward slate lately, very, very downward slate. But I feel like, oh, shoot, my fault. This is one of the better ones. I'll say that. I know I just gave a lot of nitpicks, but I felt like as a whole, I think this is one of DC's better films. You know, it's better than Shazam. I'll say that. This is Shazam 1 and 2. I'll tell that. Like I said, I think it's. If I really think about it, I don't know if it's better than Man of Steel, but that's just because I love Man of Steel so much. But it's definitely up there. You know, if you're a comic book fan, you're gonna really enjoy this film. I feel like there's a lot of fun to be had in this movie, especially with the Barry Allens, the action sequences. You know, your nostalgic characters, General Zod, Ben. You can even see Ben Affleck, Michael Keaton. You know, you're gonna have fun with all that. But there's just some things that just bring the film down, man. I just feel like the effects just to me look like they weren't done. Rush characters I just did not like. It really, to me, in some areas kind of had some pacing issues too. But the pacing issues weren't that much of a problem to me. But I feel like it had a little bit of pacing issues. But the movie moves very fast, like, so you don't really feel the runtime too much. But yeah, there was things I liked in here, things I did not like in here. And I'm in the middle. Pretty much I'm in the middle. I'm going to give this movie. I thought, honestly, when I saw this movie and everybody was telling me that this movie is going to be one of your favorites of the year, it's honestly not. It's not even my favorite movie of the month. With that goes to Spider-Verse so far. I love Spider-Verse. I love that movie. But like I said, there's still a lot of fun to be had while watching this film. Like I said, I love the story that they presented here, man. It was it's a very sad story that you're actually watching, because you're like, wow, if you had the power of Barry Allen, you might end up try to do the same thing, you know. So it was cool. I'm gonna give this movie. I gotta fight for this one. 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Yeah, it barely passes. It's barely a pass, I feel like, to me, because a lot of things are good, but a lot of things bring it down. Now I want to talk about something really quickly. I think it's a lot of things movies are just relying on, and they're not trying to make their stories as good as they could possibly be, because they're like, why make a good story when we can just rely on nostalgia? I really feel like that's a lot of this, because let's be honest, man, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, this ain't no spoil, nothing like that, but this dude is in this movie for nostalgia purposes. He's there for the older crowd, to get the older crowd in these movies. You have other characters that pop up, they nostalgia, you know, but I really feel like too many movies are focusing on nostalgia first instead of worrying about writing a good story. You know, back in the day, Dark Knight, all those, they couldn't rely on nostalgia. It was straight, we gotta write a good story. This in today's age, they're like, man, why we gotta write these good stories when we can just put a character like Michael Keaton, we can bring Michael Keaton back, and he can sell it to he can get us $100 million just alone on him. And I just really wish that it wasn't like that. You know, that's just my quick little nitpick. I really wish movies, especially comic book movies, would not rely so heavily on nostalgia. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I really thought this was gonna be my movie of the year, honestly. Damn, that hurts. That really hurt to give it a 7 out of 10. Maybe, or was it an 8? I don't know. I'd probably rethink about it. Maybe 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. But somebody was like, was it better than Spider-Verse? No. Spider-Verse is way ahead of it. So yeah, I'll give it. I'll be nice. 7.5 out of 10. I think that's fair. If it's your first time finding my channel, please hit the subscribe button. Also like the video. Tell me your guys' thoughts, complaint, criticism, stuff like that down below. Spoiler review will be dropping soon because there's a lot of things I had to leave out of this review. But hey, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.